Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to hold the bow. This is one of the very first things that you learn as a violin student is how to hold the bow. And it is the most important thing as a brand new student is how to hold the bow. So I have some students that take months and months and months remembering how to hold the bow. And it's not so much that they don't know how, it's just that they forget to do it the right way. So the easiest way to do it is grab your bow with your left hand, just like I am, and put it right here in front of you. This part of the bow is called the frog. Make sure the frog is right in front of your face, like so. And that the horsehair is not pointing up, but that it's pointing down. Okay, and you're grabbing the bow kind of like in the middle part like this. This will allow you to hold the bow correctly, and because I'm showing you how to do it, this will be a perfect example, so you can rewatch this video and get it really down and exactly on how I like to hold my bow. So what I like to do is pretend that I'm holding a ball. Pretend you're holding like a baseball or a tennis ball in your hand like this, and the thumb is the first finger we're going to place on the bow. The thumb should be pointing up. So pretend you're holding that ball, thumb is pointing up, and you're going to place the thumb right after that little curve inside the frog. See that little curve, how it curves? Right after that, you're actually going to place it on the stick of the bow, facing up, pointing up. So it's just the tip of the thumb that you're going to put right there. It would be a good idea maybe to rest it right there if your bow has some of this leather on the bow. You can put it right there on the leather facing up, okay? And then these fingers, first of all, the pointing finger, you're going to put it right here you're going to lay it on the top of the bow, and you want the knuckle, this knuckle right here, right where it bends, that bending part is the one that's going to be on the bow. So put your thumb, put the knuckle right there on the bow, and then put the pinky right on the tip of the bow, okay? And what you notice with the other fingers is that they don't have anywhere really to go. There's not much you can do with them. So just have them fall down. Have them fall down wherever they fall down, but have them touching each other. So see, there's a little space in here between your pointing finger and your middle finger. These two fingers are touching, and then there's another space, and then there's the pinky. And that's how you hold the bow. Like that. And again, you remove your hand, and you do it over and over. Rewind this video as many times as you need. Just the tip of the finger goes in there, and sometimes what that does is the horsehair will be touching your fingernail. And that's okay. That's okay. The middle finger, right where it bends, right where your finger bends, your big knuckle goes right on the top of the bow. Your pinky goes right, the tip of the pinky goes right on the top of the bow, and these two other fingers together touching, they just kind of fall over the bow. And that's how you hold it. Now doing this with one hand, it is heavy. The bow is heavy. And so what happens if you remove the pinky, the bow falls down because of gravity. Now, you're not going to be doing that all the time or at all even, because when you have your violin and you put your bow on the violin is holding your bow. The violin is preventing you from having to go against gravity, because gravity wants to pull it down. The bowstrings stop it from doing that. So in reality, when you're holding your bow like this, it is hard. When you're holding like this, it's not so hard anymore. You're not actually carrying the bow is the correct word. You're just holding it. Right here, I'm holding it and I'm carrying it at the same time. Now, one thing you can do is, if you don't have a violin at hand, is I always like to practice with a pencil. So do the same thing. Maybe it might be easier for you to practice on a pencil because it's less heavy. So hold the pencil like this. Again, your ball, thumb on the bottom of the pencil, right where it bends on top of the pencil, pinky on the tip, And these two fingers, there's nothing much you can do with them. So just let them fall where they fall. And always, those two fingers always together. Okay? This one right here, the other two fingers together, and then a space, and then your pinky right there on the top. Now, what beginners will do when they're holding their bow wrong is they'll let that pinky go over. And what that does is now it moves the angle of the bow. Now the angle of the bow is pointing out instead of using a straight bow. And this bow, the way you're holding the bow is ideal for playing with the straight bow. So once you do that, I guarantee you're not going to be playing with the straight bow like this. Let me show you how that looks. So this is the correct way. Now when you put that pinky over, because you forget, all of a sudden, you know, your bow's pointing some other direction. You put it on the violin, and you end up doing this and not playing with the straight bow, and this is how you correctly should hold the bow. Now, one thing that we sometimes do in class to show my students why you need to hold that bow the way you do is go ahead and grab the bow with a fist like this, like if it was a sword or like if it was a lightsaber. And go ahead and put your bow on the string, on the A, any string really, on the E string is the easiest, and go ahead and try to play with the straight bow. You're gonna reach a point where, oh my God, I can't go any further because you're holding the bow wrong. It hurts the wrist. It hurts this part of the wrist. Go ahead and try it at home. It's gonna hurt it. To be able to use all my bow, I'm going to then have to do this, which is incorrect. That's not a straight bow. Or I'm going to have to change the way I'm holding the bow so that I can go all the way down. And that's the reason why that little pinky finger needs to be right on the tip of the bow so that you can play with a full straight bow.